Wandering beekeeper here in the middle of a lot of racket. This is a supplementary video to the mystical agriculture one. This is the completed brick machine. I have hopper fed the system. You've seen that before. I've added a stable wormhole supply system from the Occultism mod. I'll talk a little bit more about Occultism in just a moment, but essentially those discs are wormholes and the brass funnels are extracting a specific item from the grid. It's on the other side of the wormhole. There is a grid storage, a massive, you'll see it in a minute. Yeah, we're cranking away, making clay ball, which is being extracted by a cheap andesite funnel. No need for any more expensive brass one here. Goes up there. We have a brass funnel up there because I didn't know any better. Accepting the clay ball into here, where it drains into a supremium furnace. This is a mystical agriculture device. You have to build it up from an inferium furnace all the way up to supremium, making each stage, as these mods tend to go. It is an expensive item, but I only had to make one. So with that made, well, I mean, just look at the speed at which we are processing clay ball here, and we're not burning through the coal any faster. It's just that much more efficient, 4,000% more efficient. That feeds into here, where we are running into a bit of a stoppage. We see the brick being pulled out. This is our choke point currently. This machine can only crank out the brick block so fast, and it's chugging along absolutely as fast as it can go. Every bit as fast as the clay ball maker at the beginning of the assembly line, but there's just such a supply. My gosh. That chest and this chest are both full of bricks. Brick. Stacks of brick waiting to be turned into stacks of bricks, which go off into the grid. And if we come in here and look into the black hole, which sounds like a terrible idea, we get the grid interface. Here's our storage. We have 50 types of objects out of a possible 8,320 types of objects. We can store, if I remember correctly, 128,000 of each. It's some really major number. I mean, it's and all of this stuff, I mean, you can see there's seed ticking in there. You can see stuff coming in as it's being produced. There's the brick ticking up. You can see the brick ticking up. All this other stuff that's pouring in that I haven't even gotten around to processing yet. Let's go quickly look at where that's coming from, because the way it starts is out here at the field, and all I had to do was add stable wormhole. The stable wormholes are two-way, and whether they are input or output depends upon what you attach to them. I attached a hopper, which feeds into the wormhole, so this is an input device. I attached a funnel. It became an output. It becomes an output device. It'll still function. It should still function as either one from either side, which is kind of cool. You put one thing in one side and pull another thing out another side. So these chests are no longer so full. They're empty because they're draining into the wormhole. Wormhole system is up on an upper story here. Yeah, the mill has gotten kind of noisy. It's finally becoming a mill. It sounds like one. I'm actually enjoying this. If you've never been to an actual water wheel driven grist mill where grain is ground into flour, you really just look it up. It's an experience. It is something that we should be aware of. Might have to build one someday, you never know. This is a storage pedestal, and this is the core of the system. This is basically the grid, where in applied energistics you would have a controller and then an array of drives. This is the controller and the drive array all in one. Each of these pedestals here, they're just stacks of blocks, of a couple of blocks, supports a dimensional storage stabilizer. This is a tier 4. Takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of resources, and some really intense ritual magic. Occultism is faithful in its replication of how ritual magic works in real life. It is expensive, it is time-consuming, it is tedious. But you end up with these stabilizers. They're effectively amplifiers. Every one of them that is pointed at the dimensional matrix multiplies the amount of available storage. With 4 of them, and they have to be no more than 2 blocks away, and so there's a limit. I could probably put one more directly above it, but that'd be it. They have to be pointed directly at it. Yeah, I've got a vast space in here. Now there is, it is a little clunky working with external storage. You can use a chest as a feed or as an output buffer, but you can't put stuff in a chest and then access it from the grid when you want it, the way you can with applied energistics. But it's a magic mod. And this is the one thing that makes occultism worth it. I'm not doing a video for occultism. This is the one thing in occultism that makes that mod worthwhile, right here. And it makes this function. So there we are. There is the brick machine. The finished device. Transit supply put in. Oh, this one over here is making coal. And it's just making coal as it's grown, basically. The field gets harvested, and when 8 essences have been harvested, the crafter kicks off, and a new few units of coal go into the chest, and from there, into the grid. Because, yeah, there's those little stable wormholes hidden everywhere, aren't there? So, combination of multiple mods, but we have a fully functional mechanical, magical, no advanced technology stuff, although Technically, the magic is highly advanced technology, and it's all run by a windmill. I'm the Wandering Beekeeper. Thank you.